Well, good morning. I'm Jagendra Rana. The topic for the discussion today is principle of indemnity. Principle of indemnity. The concept of insurance is based on the four basic principles of insurance. These four basic principles are insurable interest, utmost good faith, proximate cause, and principle of indemnity. Now let us understand what is the principle of indemnity with the help of an example. Say Jayes had a shop which caught fire, and as a result, a part of the goods that were stored was destroyed. So this shop was insured for its full value of rupees 5 lakh. Jayes claimed rupees 5 lakh since he had insured his shop for rupees 5 lakh. Now the insurance company surveyor examined the damage and estimated that the loss was only rupees 64,000. The insurance company paid rupees 64,000 as compensation, even though Jayes had a policy of rupees 5 lakh and claimed for more. So the insurer was applying a law known as the principle of indemnity. You get compensated for what you lose, no more, no less. The principle of indemnity means that the loss and only the loss is compensated. The insurer has to indemnify, that is, pay for the financial loss suffered by the insured. At the same time, the insured should not be paid anything more than the financial loss suffered by him. So in other words, the insured should not be able to make a profit out of the loss suffered. Now the insurance contract is for compensating the person who experiences a loss so that he is brought back to the same financial position as before the loss. Now the insurance policy indemnifies or guarantees compensation only for the amount of loss and for nothing more. So one should note that the insurance policies have a sum insured, which indicates the total value of the risk that is taken over by the insurer through the policy. Now, sum insured should be understood depending on the type of insurance, as the value of a car, the value of a house, the estimated medical expenditure, or the amount that would take care of a family's financial need in case of the breadwinner's death. The payment of any higher amount would normally mean a profit for the insured. Payment for loss or damage under insurance contract are limited to the actual amount of the loss or damage or the sum insured, which would be the maximum liability of the insurer. So the purpose here is to ensure that one should not expect to make profit out of a loss through insurance. Now consider this situation. Consider a case where Mrs. X takes insurance on her life. But suppose she were to die. Would it be possible to exactly estimate the actual amount of loss or damage suffered? You would find that the above questions cannot be answered easily. So the value of a person's life cannot be measured precisely. Now, life insurance contracts hence follow a different principle. The life insurer pays an amount that is fixed at the beginning of the contract. Such amount is known as sum assured. Thus, the life insurance contract are known as the contract of assurance rather than contracts of indemnity. Now, there are subrogation and contributions. These are the two corollaries of the principle of insurance, principle of indemnity. Now, what these subrogation and contributions are? Both principles of subrogation and contribution arise from the principle of indemnity. Subrogation says, let us see an example. On his transfer from Kolkata to Mumbai, Mr. Rajan sends his household goods worth ₹1 lakh through Messrs. Jayanti Transport or Jayant Transports. So during the transit, part of the goods got damaged due to the truck driver's negligence. Now the insurer assessed the loss and found that the value of the damage was ₹30,000 and paid this amount to Mr. Rajan as indemnity. However, Mr. Rajan took up the matter against Messrs. Jayant Transport with the court of law, and the court orders Messrs. Jayant Transport to pay ₹30,000 to Mr. Rajan. Now, having already received ₹30,000 from the insurer, Mr. Rajan would be making a profit out of the loss if he gets ₹30,000 from the transporters also. So, from this situation, one should observe the following. The insurance company has to compensate Mr. Rajan as per the insurance contract at the earliest without making him wait for the court's judgment. Now, Mr. Rajan should not get two compensation and make a profit out of this loss. In such situation, the insured's right to claim from anywhere else is taken over by the insurer when he pays the claim. Since the insurer has paid the amount of loss to the insured, the insurer would be the one who has borne the loss. Hence, the name of the insurer should be substituted for the insured, and the right to recover the amount of loss from the person causing loss has to be transferred to the insurer, who paid for the loss and compensates the insured. So this taking over of the insured's rights by the insurer is called subrogation in insurance parlance. In other words, on payment of the claim, the insured's rights to claim from anywhere else gets subrogated to the insurer. So in the matter of subrogation, one should be clear that the insurer's right of subrogation are limited to the amount he has paid towards claim. If in the case cited above, the court had ordered Messrs. Jayant Transport to pay ₹50,000 instead of ₹30,000 to Mr. Rajan, the insurer would have subrogation rights only up to ₹30,000 that it paid, and the balance ₹20,000 would go to Mr. Rajan. So how subrogation works? It works. Say for example, individual motor car owner buys insurance. Now car damaged by carriers driving off a truck. So individual insured claims from the insurance company. Now insurance company settles claim and gets right to recover amount paid from truck owner. So this is called subrogation. Now comes contribution. So let us consider this situation. Mr. Kishore had a car worth rupees 5 lakh and he took full insurance for his car from two insurance companies. The car was totally damaged in an accident and total loss was rupees 5 lakh. Mr. Kishore filed a claim with the first company and got paid rupees 5 lakh. He goes to the second insurance company and makes a claim for rupees 5 lakh. The second company informed Mr. Kishore that he was not eligible for getting any more sum because he has already indemnified. He was already indemnified by the first company. Now, if this second company had also paid him, he would have made a profit. So, out of his loss to the disadvantage of all the other members who had contributed premiums. Now, this situation is against the principle of indemnity. In insurance, as Mr. Kishore would be making a profit out of his loss. So, the principle of contribution refers to the right of an insurer who has paid a loss under a policy to recover a proportionate amount from one insurer who are also liable for the loss. Listen again. The principle of contribution refers to the right of an insurer who has paid a loss under a policy to recover a proportionate amount from other insurers who are also liable for the loss. Let's see an example. If a property is insured under two fire policies, each of rupees 3 lakh, so in the event of a partial loss of rupees 1 lakh, the insured is entitled to recover his full loss from any one of the insurer. So who thereafter is entitled to recover from the other insurer his proportionate share, that is 50,000. So the different insurer under different policies contribute in indemnifying and paying for the loss caused by an insured peril. You got the example? So the property is insured under two fire policies, each of rupees 3 lakh. In the event of a partial loss of 1 lakh, the insured is entitled to recover his full loss from any one of the insurers. So this is the way how contribution applies.